Hi, Bella here. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm sure a lot of you out there who are spending a lot of time learning English are still feeling very confused, very puzzled as to what you really should be doing to improve your English, because whatever you have been doing for the past few years obviously has not been working well for you, or that you just don't know, you get frustrated and just disappointed at how much progress you have achieved. So you're wondering if you should start trying new things. So if this is kind of where you are right now, there are a few things that I want you to think about. And maybe by thinking about them, you will get a fresh perspective on your English learning. So the first question you might have is where you should start. So to answer this question, I want you to first figure out where you are right now as far as your language skills go. And I also want you to make sure of where you want to be. How well can you speak English? I want you to pick a topic, explain it to yourself in English, and record it. When you listen back to it, how is your pronunciation? Are you still pronouncing certain words incorrectly, which makes it hard for you sometimes to understand native speakers or other people when they're speaking English? Are you having trouble speaking in complete sentences? Are you still spitting out one word at a time? How is your grammar? Can you notice a lot of obvious grammatical mistakes in your speaking? And last but not least, what kind of words and expressions did you select to express your meanings? These are the things you need to look at when you're listening back to your recording. And if you need some help, make sure to ask your friends or any teacher or anyone else that you think that would be able to help you identify your current problems and how far you are from your current goals. And once that part is done, the next thing up on your list should be to prioritize your goals. Once you have an idea of where you are right now, it's time then to think about what your current goals should be. Are you studying in an English-speaking country? If so, maybe to you, the academic English skills would be more useful. Or did you just move to an English-speaking country? If that is the case, maybe learning how to carry on daily conversations with other people and how to express yourself in different real-life situations would be more of a priority to you. Are you currently working in an English-speaking country that you need to learn professional or business English in order to communicate with your coworkers or your employers better? Because everyone's situation is a bit different, and we are all using English for slightly different purposes. So we, of course, will have different priorities than others. So make sure you understand which part of your spoken English that you most desperately want to improve. Or if you're not in a particular hurry to achieve a certain level, then ask yourself, what is more important to you? For example, some people really like to work on their pronunciation because they want to sound more like a native speaker, British or American, or any native accent that you prefer. Or is being able to speak a full sentence way more important for you? You can certainly work on both goals at the same time, but it's just a lot easier to start with one priority at the very beginning. And once you see enough improvement on that one aspect, it will also give you a lot more motivation and determination to continue working on the rest of it. And besides, most of us don't have all day to spend learning English. So we have to pick what matters to us the most so that we can put together our study plans accordingly. Once we have our priorities all figured out, the next step would be to try to talk to some friends, some teachers, or do some research on the internet to figure out most recommended practices for the aspect that you want to improve. People always feel very lost when it comes to figuring out the kind of practices they can do to improve their spoken English. But really, it's simpler than you think. In order to be able to speak complete sentences in English, your language input should also be complete sentences or phrases at the very least. If your English input is done word by word, meaning that if you're only learning English by remembering the vocabularies, when you are actually using them, they will likely come out as broken parts as well. So start by learning complete sentences and the expressions, and especially when and how to use them. And that's it. As you continue to learn, you will slowly build up your own inventory of commonly used sentence structures and expressions. And with more practice, you'll get more and more comfortable with using them anytime you want. And last but not least, like I've mentioned in my previous videos, you gotta have a plan. You can't just randomly select one thing to do for the day. Practice makes perfect, but the practice has to be very intentional. It always has to carry a particular purpose. You have to know exactly why you're doing this particular exercise. You have to know what you're trying to achieve. And remember to set different goals as well when you get to different stages, because you need to get used to adjusting your study plans accordingly.